Welsh voices ring out in the Stadio Louis d'Aragon to face Spain, and this is how the Spanish are looking. They have selected with as much consistency as is possible for their third match in a row. They are missing their talisman, Bernat Fernandez at scrum half. He's not even in the 26, so Manuel Mendez starts at number 9, paired with Malachi Hafoka. On the right wing, Lucas Alvarez is the top try scorer at this festival. He scored 3 against Italy and 1 against Ireland. Watch out for him if he gets the ball, as likewise Pablo Montero and Dario Ruiz in the backline are fleet-footed and deadly given space. Wales have a couple of injuries to contend with themselves. There is no Isaac Jones in the front row. Sam Bryant starts in the number 3 jersey, and there is also no Jack Cloak, who captained the side against France. He's also injured. Alfie Prgodzic wears 7 and will captain the side. Moses Tuliakiono is the only Welsh player to gain a 3rd start in this festival. He's at number 8. On the benches, Jack Williams is certainly a man to watch out for, having scored twice against the French. He wears 25. And for the Spanish, Pau Vichez, a very fast back rower who can do it all, he'll wear number 22 today. Spain have started slowly against Italy. They started fast against Ireland. You get the sense that they will need to be out of the blocks very quickly against this Welsh team wearing black. Alfie Luger at number 9 today, paired with Will Ford. It's the same half-back pairing that started against Scotland when Wales won handsomely in round 1, 34 points to 15. And that's a contestable one, which is won by Wales. Excellent chase. Now Luger, and the box kick is charged down. There's Sam Bryant putting himself around, and involved in Gloucester in England. Lovely hands from Spain. Vicente Lahite, the open side, who was high tackled. So we'll come all the way back for that. Fly half today, as it has been all competition. Malachi Hafoka. Spent time already in his young career playing in New Zealand, in Auckland, for Auckland Under-18s. Another man who crossed the whitewash for Spain against Italy, as they scored 33 points against the Italians, but they conceded 52.
Receiver 2 meters 2. Yeah, it's okay. Access.
Good line out from the Spanish, and here come Los Leoncitos, the Little Lions. Mata Omar, he's plugged in the hooker, and they're making headway here. Wales still conceding meters. Omar is still at the back there, and they're that close. It'll be a penalty try. A show of muscle, a major flex at the start of this competition. And Wales already a man down. Into the sin bin for 7 minutes. Spain 7 points to 0 against Wales. Manuel Mendez communicating through the only way you can in a rolling maul, slapping people on the backside. And he was steering the ship and steering it well. Wales feeling the need to illegally pull it down. Pablo Montero, a real attacking threat ball in hand for the Spanish. Sam Bryant already having to cool things down. Really disappointing beginning for him, and someone surely who's paying the price really for the collective Welsh effort to haul that down rather than an individual decision. But nonetheless, Spain with a power play for 7 minutes that Bryant will be off. We'll have to rejig things at the scrum as well, so it's early game management required from Wales. They've been very quick to get out of blocks in both their games. This might stifle them somewhat. Hafoka. Half break from the 10. Guzman Vinuesa, his sister and his older brother are both full Spanish internationals. Alba and Gonzalo. A lot to live up to for young Guzman Vinuesa, wearing 12 for Spain. Mendes. You may have seen plenty of highlights from a Spanish number 9 at this festival. That's Bernat Fernandez. Mendes has got the shot today. Gonzalo Losada. Applying a lot of pressure, doing all the right things, Spain, to try to maximise this advantage over Richie Pugh's Wales team. Taken down. Spain have got it back through Jesus Villalobos.
Okay. Number 5, no call.
But Rocklin Kennelly had knocked on, so Welsh scrum, but here's where the change is going to need to be made.
Listen to me, okay?
You would imagine Mason James will be the man to come on for Wales. So Mason James from the Ospreys switches in.
Let's go outside. 6, 8. Stay at 7 during the scrum because they have yellow card. Time out. Go. The mark.
What has
Left on the mark.
been difficult for Spain in this festival is dealing with opposition packs in the second half particularly. Managed to live with them in the first half, but then been overpowered in the second. So any time when they get to face a depowered pack, as Welsh squad will be now for a few minutes, is welcome, but it's still going to be a comfortable scrummaging win for Wales.
Now finish, stay back.
Luga.
Back. Nice to finish, no more please, use it!
Off his left boot. And he's made just about the best of that, Alfie Luga. Man from Llandovery College and with the Scarlets as well, the Welsh scrum half.
2 meters, yeah. More game, please, more game. Yeah, thanks.
Spain have perhaps the most impressive of all the coaching staffs here. They really have a team which have done it all internationally as players and as coaches. Managed by Raul Perez Aspirina, who's coached the Jaguares in Super Rugby back in 2016. They have Juan Gonzalez, who coached the women's team at the recent World Cup, and Alberto Socias, who's the head of Rugby Sevens in Spain. So they brought the heavyweights over here in the coaching department.
Height, please. Press! 5! Set! Number 1.
Scrum penalty. So Juan Gonzalez will be very happy in the coaching box.
Excellent. So
Hafoka straight back to it for a Spanish line-out. Cleanly taken by Spain.
Access.
Omar,
No.
the hooker, has gone in to take it.
Once.
Mendez in control of when it goes, and now it goes to the backs. Guzman Vinuesa with the carry initially. Alvaro Martinez. Tackling is good from Will Watkins. His second start in a row in Welsh ranks. Hafoka just hacks this through. Here's the back three in action for Wales for the first time. Sam Morgan kicks it downfield. That's a handy exit from Sam Morgan, the fullback. Scored 2 tries against Scotland. And he's back in for Dylan Quinn
How much,
in
please?
the 15 jersey.
4. Stay at 2 meters.
Omar
2 times.
didn't release it first time. He dummied the throw effectively, which you can't
Put
do.
the ball on the floor. Put the ball on the floor. Nice, free kick.
Spanish ill discipline.
No. I ref you playing. It's okay.
So Alfie Luger still with a man in the sin bin, although soon to be joining the action again will be Sam Bryant.
Never release the ball.
And Wales penalised for just getting up and going again. So Moses Tuliakiono is able to come back on now. He's the cousin of Talupe Faletau. Tuliakiono, a man who Richie Pugh has seen as indispensable in this festival. Picking him at number 8 3 matches in a row. Everyone else has been switched and rotated, and there's multiple players with 2 starts, but no one picked 3 times in a row. None other than Moses. So Mason James, having held up a couple of scrums, now goes back to the bench roll, and Bryant comes back on.
Okay, player.
Hafoka kicks it ahead. Luger tackled by Vinuesa.
Release. One is black. No, it's okay. Back the last feet. We are inside. Back.
Luger's box kick doesn't quite find touch. This is Alvarez,
No.
the man with the best scoring record in the festival.
Offside. Number 7 red. In front of the kicker.
So despite Wales being back up to 15, Luger decides to slow it down and go to his fly half forward. And Will Ford with a good nudge down the field. Well, Scotland brought a bagpiper to the stands. We've already heard the choral Welsh voices before kickoff, making sure it's a familiar feeling for these Welsh players playing in Vichy, or as familiar as it can be.
No. Back.
Luger sees Welsh forwards advancing, so lets them stick to task. Now gets it. Fighting forward himself, the scrum half. With the advantage, forward plays scrum half then. Here's Bryant. That's a carry which shows he's intent on making amends. Carry through the middle from Carroll. A couple of young lock forwards that Wales have brought out to Vichy.
One for side entry.
They'll be able to play next year as well for Wales under-18s. Caught up with Richie Pugh earlier in the week, and he was leading the team in a mass game of paddle at the time. So these Welsh players able to enjoy a different kind of sport over in Vichy. The paddle really is taking over the world, isn't it, at the moment? Here they come. Wales again. Will Carroll. Good take. They're advancing and moving quickly, and Wales up to the line here and scoring. And Alfie Progodzic, the captain for Wales, leads the firing line, and he's gone over.
On me.
Gets hold of the ball and then just fights his way forward. He's got Brian Kamanga for support. Progodzic with a good carry, a good try. Will Ford just to the right-hand side with his conversion. So Spain leading Wales 7 points to 5.
One side. Left.
Moses Tuliakonian, big carry from the number 8. Penalty though to Spain. They get the jacklers on Tuliakiono on the floor.
Keep the ball.
And straight for the posts, as they have shown the willingness to do in France. Spain, they slotted over an early penalty against Ireland. As much as they have shown so much in attack, they've also shown a pragmatism and an old-fashioned affinity, I suppose, to keeping the scoreboard ticking over. This festival is so much about development. It is entirely about development of young players. But Spain seeing that development side as a reason to stay in contest, to be able to take points whenever they can, to put pressure on Wales, because victories for Spain in the Under-18s Six Nations Festival, as a nation that aren't in the Six Nations, and Georgia are the other one here, of course. Anytime you're able to land a victory, it's a scalp effectively, it's a big blow to an established nation, and it sends reverberations across the Northern Hemisphere, even at this young age. Spain leading 10-5. Riley Fussell on the tackle on the right wing. Starting ahead of Jack Williams today.
Use it! Back. Use it, 9.
Mendes. Taken well by Morgan.
Yeah. Knock on.
He knocks on the floor. Vinuesa gets it back, and we'll have a scrum right on the halfway line. Well, Morgan there carries further than you ever think it is possible for a wiry player like himself, but he's got a lot of balance and core strength, and really good prospect.
Keep the pressure and support your body weight. Crunch! Tight! Set! Same sides. Here, come here, come here, come here. Keep along by. Let's go. Come on, Sam. One. Let your shoulders out. Let your shoulders.
Spain, in each of their fixtures, I would wager conceding a significant number of kilos at the scrum to their opposition. This looks certain to be the same against Wales. Brian Kamanga, Tian Hall and Sam Bryant the front row for Wales, and they're making that extra weight advantage pay early on. But Spain are away and through the hands, and this is just how slick they can be in attack. Paulo Montero kicks ahead. Back goes Fussell. And he's got 3 Spanish players on him. And Spain have muscled the penalty off Fussell. On the floor, they'll tap and go. But the referee pulls it back.
You have to play by the foot.
Rocklin Kennelly, who was told to hold his horses, and they kicked a touch instead with Hafoka.
Wait. Here. 30 meters.
Omar. Wales have got in there this time and tapped it back. First time the Spanish line-out has hit a speed bump. And Wales get the penalty off the back of it. Such a good defensive set. Timing on the leap and the bravery to try it too. Not just to face the rolling ball, try and shut that down, but to go up in the air. Because if you don't hit that and Spain catch it cleanly, they're almost certainly scoring another try. Maybe Wales felt that if they didn't challenge it, Spain was certainly scoring a try anyway. So faced with those 2 possible outcomes, making the challenge was the right one.
Access, player.
And Wales have it cleanly themselves. Forward. Again, a contestable kick. Fussell goes after this great take from the winger. But then Kinsey knocks it on. So Spain have an advantage. That advantage is now played. Ford kicks it downfield. Right over Hafoka's head. Good kick from Will Ford. Unless it's something very special from Malachi Hafoka, it's going to be a net gain for Wales. That hasn't found touch, so Wales have a lot of space in Vichy and Sam Morgan to decide what to do. Doesn't risk the offload. Luga. Tuliakiono. Bryant. Lovely hands. Here goes Ford, breaking upfield, getting it into Progodzic's hands, who kicks downfield. And then Spain go after that. Alfie Progodzic taking on the Justin Tipuric role of roaming into free grass and then deciding that this can be best kept alive with the footballing skills. It's not really fair, is it? Any scrum-hatted open side who kicks the ball is almost always going to be compared to Justin Tipuric, but Progodzic's kick was a pretty good one. Might well have worked out.
Back. No. Use it. Stay back.
Clearance kick from Mendes.
Keep your game.
Good throw from Tian Hall. Spain have done well to bring this to the floor. Hall gets a few meters out of it again. Luga gets Wales moving forward. Spain were lining up nicely, and Wales not taking the ball with them, but penalty coming.
From 6 minutes, there are a lot of thoughts. I tell you, the last action. So in this one, it's a ball you cannot the ball. No, it's not the black who go on the floor. It's the one who collapse the ball.
So Spain are a line cut short for the next 7 minutes. Their turn to have to play with a one-man disadvantage. Yellow-carded Jesus Villalobos. Great chance this for Wales. And the boys with the bigger size shirts for Wales now roll up their sleeves.
Access.
And away they go. Easy meters early on. Tian Hall taken down, but he's right on the line. Spanish penalty.
You're on the floor, you never release the ball, and you use your hand for after. The black is going on the floor.
Essentially playing rugby on the floor, which you can't do. And let's examine this a bit further. Hall at the back. And he's down there. And I don't think it's that last moment that's the problem. I think it's the part before where he was down on his knees and he didn't let go of the ball and pick it up again. He just stood up again with the ball. And as soon as you are on your feet in rugby, you can't, off your feet in rugby, you can't play the ball. So he would have had to have laid it back or let go of it completely, which he didn't do. Now Spain seeking the skies, but Morgan looking to control those skies. And it will be a Welsh ball. Sam Morgan, the Coleg Gwent and Dragons player. Looking like a steady pair of hands. On a ball which is a bit greasy. It has been raining this morning in Vichy.
They are number 4, number 5. Come. It's not time off. You need a prop? Okay. Substitution. 7. Yeah. 7-inch scrum.
So Eneko Sanchez has to come on.
7.
And Moses Tuliakiono thinks he has to go into the back line, and he might be right. He is, because at under-18s level, the scrum still has to be the same numbers on each side. Even if one team has a player in the sin bin, the other team has to drop that player. It doesn't happen in the senior game. You can have an extra man in the scrum, but at this level, Tuliakiono has to go in behind. And Wales go to the other side with Fussell. Carry forward from Hall. And now Carroll. Progodzic. Forward, nice hands here. Kinsey, Tuliakiono in a bit of space, and it just went forward out of the hands of Harvey Bryant. Well, this is the benefit of Tuliakiono being in the wider channels. He can take those wide balls, but well, I'll leave that to you to decide whether that was passed a little too far behind Bryant or whether Bryant had overrun it. It was certainly a close call on that front. Either way, Wales not quite connecting.
Let's go. We are in the 22. 7-inch grip. Play up. Yeah.
Brian Kamanga on the loosehead side for Wales. He's someone who's still learning his front row craft. He's been moved to this position from the back row.
Set.
But he really seems to be causing a lot of problems for Spain. And a penalty to the Spanish, although Wales certainly had the power advantage on that. Kamanga seem to be making inroads, but not to the referee's liking. Spain doing well here to see out this 7-minute yellow card. And they've done something which no team at this festival has done so far, Spain, and they've made Wales's slick backline play, and they've kept it to a bare minimum, really. Wales haven't at all been able to go to their patterns.
Back.
Spain have had much more of the ball as well.
Back. Play on.
Mendes. Wales get the knock-on advantage.
Black. We can. Because the ball is in the scrum and the 9 is outside. The 9 follow the ball and he play the ball. Yeah, it's okay. No.
They're in good voice, aren't they?
Number 5, we're stealing
The Welsh fans in Vichy.
All is okay, Lorenzo? Yeah, we play. 8 against 8.
No one in world rugby does it better.
Set!
And I'd argue that all day long. Can it help their team? Fussell, he's away now. Chipping over. Not quite the bounce that he was after. But a nice blindside move from Wales.
How much? 6?
Taken down by Carroll. Against expectation, this match is turning into an arm wrestle between the two packs. There's backs on both sides who must be itching to play some ball. And at the moment, it's two pack divisions who are just butting heads.
It's not the same bind.
It'll become a backs game at some point, that is for certain. Spain having shown a little more of that than the Welsh so far. So Villalobos has come back. Spain have held out without conceding any points during the yellow card.
Now straight. Scrum.
That's a cameo for Eneko Sanchez.
Put your shoulders out. One way. Crunch. Point. Set.
Luga
Use it.
goes hunting for it and then goes searching for space. He's tackled well by Lahitete.
I tackle.
Well, he's tackled well. He's tackled high by Lahitete.
You can touch. Here, please. I tackle, captain.
Well, after making 11 changes for the French match, Wales have made 6 or 7 for this one.
First year.
Really rotating and focusing on getting as many minutes for everybody in the squad as possible.
Access.
Tulekiliono, Progodzic, Luga,
Play on.
Kamanga,
No release, come on. Believe.
Harrison Lewis, Owen Lewis with support from Harry Kinsey. Luga precious little ball that those two Welsh centres have got.
Advantage.
Brian Kamanga, he's knocked back. It is to the backs again. Lewis puts it in behind.
High tackle. 13 red, 13 red.
It does just happen that way sometimes. Owen Lewis and Harry Kinsey barely used by Wales.
13 red.
Over 34 minutes, they get a touch of the ball here and there in this phase of play.
Captain, on discipline.
Hall, good line out throw. Well, it found its man, but it wasn't straight.
It's a long transfer.
Malachi Hafoka.
He's never in connect with the jumper. Okay, tell to your players because they speak with me. No, they are no ball.
Last roll of the dice in the first half. Spain's lineup. Mendes. Hafoka.
Stop it! Stop!
Again, he wants this to be contestable. That's been the order of the day for both teams. Wales have got this back though. Fussell goes off and looking for the wider spaces. Mendes on the tackle as Luger gets it going. Taken by Will Watkins. Second start in a row for the blindside flanker. Here's Kinsey.
14 red.
Really difficult man to bring down. Here's Harry Kinsey. He's got a cut of the Jonathan Davis about him in the centres for Wales. Brian Kamanga.
Advantage. Offside. Number 14 red. 14 red offside.
So Alvarez, the winger, offside for Spain.
Yeah.
There's still a chance for Wales before half-time.
On me. The Reaper have to connect directly with the jumper. It's the rules.
So the referee making sure Wales don't fall foul of his whistle again. That person who takes the ball has to connect directly with the jumper, otherwise it's a truck and trailer penalty. At the back, go Wales, taken by Watkins, Luger, Fussell. Quick ball for Wales, Tian Hall. Lovely line by Kinsey, doesn't quite get the pass away. Spain have slowed it down a little bit, but illegally so. Luger. Ford moves in to play scrum half. It'll be Luger nonetheless. Ford back to the fly half shot, over to the corner here for Wales. It's bouncing around and Alvarez makes sure it stays in Spanish hands. But they're in trouble here, and this will have consequences long into the second half.
You need to talk to your players because there are a lot of faults, okay, in this area. Yeah, in this area there are a lot of faults. Talk to your player, no more, please.
Well, this is always a moot point because with half-time knocking,
Not rolling away.
that sort of resets things in the referee's mind. But Spain giving away so many penalties, they might well be on watch at the start of the second half too. In the meantime, Wales and Luger moving the ball along here to Kamanga. He's almost there. He's down. Brian Kamanga has carried more ball for Wales than anybody else up front in the first half. And it is he who breaks through. Wales all level. So many Spanish bodies trying to stop Kamanga. No one can. Might still be learning about front row play, but he is a born ball carrier. Ford successfully does it, so Wales will take the lead into half-time. They apply enough pressure, and eventually the Spanish pips begin to squeak. In a rather damp Vichy, it is the Spanish who trail Wales 10 points to 12. So Wales's first try came through Alfie Progodzic, and this fast-moving rolling ball which turned into a two-man wrecking show with Kamanga and Progodzic. Kamanga, the ideal line blocker from the NFL, just shoving people out the way, but doing it in such a way that it was legal. Really good work, and this time it was Progodzic who helped him out to score his try. Special kind of connection between open side flanker and loose head prop. Lovely to see. Really has had a good first half, Brian Kamanga. And Wales have a 2-point lead at half-time. Back comes Spain in a contest at half-time with a very realistic chance of scoring a first victory of the campaign. Things have been tight in this one, whereas they had to chase both the Italians and the Irish in their opening encounters. They've kept pace with Wales, but Brian Kamanga's try just before half-time sent the Welsh in front for the first time, and rather changed the complexion of both teams' team talks. Will Ford to get us going in the final 35 minutes of action for both Wales and Spain in this year's Under-18s Six Nations Festival. Ford with a very composed first half behind him. Spain composed on the ball as they take possession, although that counts as losing your composure somewhat, making it a simple error at the first contact. Alfie Prigodzic liked it. Really good first half from the captain for Wales, Alfie Prigodzic. Without Jack Cloak today, who's injured. Led the side against France, did Cloak. Wales also without Isaac Jones in the front row. Another one who's been injured, but otherwise everyone holding up well in their third match in 8 days.
Who is the penalty now? For you or for him? If you want to keep the penalty, I want no more. It's clear? Okay?
I think Sam Bryant had
number 3 collapsing.
A rather chill running down the back of his neck just then as he was hauled over by the referee. He was yellow carded in the first half, of course, Sam Bryant. And he must have thought, no, not me again. But it was just a talking to. Wales go to it then.
Access.
At the line out, Watkins, Prigodzic is there again, Bryant's helping him out. Spain know who to look for at moments like these now. It's the man with the green and red scrum hat. They reload with Kamanga. They've got to watch him as well.
Time off, stay back.
Brian Kamanga might have scored another here.
They are clear no con, seeing by my assist, okay, but you have a penalty for offside and side entry.
No try.
I need more discipline. Yeah, one offside and one side entry. We are on your side, no more please. I don't know, the 8 and the side entry. Wait. Side entry, offside.
Choose your pick of the infractions.
Discipline. From
Spain. They need to be very careful now. Kamanga.
Access.
With that carry in place, and everybody thought it was coming for Wales. It still might come here. Tian Hall. So many options. One of them's right through the middle. Wales go close.
Advantage.
And they pick and reload. And Luger digs for it. It's coming back for the scrum half.
The ball is held up.
Spain hold things up again, but
Captain, offside line, you play the players. You put your hands on the line, you offside.
It was coming. Spain down to 14. It is the captain as well, Adrian Fernandez.
The ball is held up, offside line.
Tian Hall and his Welsh teammates have extracted a yellow card. Can they extract another try for Wales? Here comes Kamanga at speed. He's done it again. You can line up the defenders, but he will just knock them down. Brian Kamanga moves Wales further ahead. And those Spanish defenders saw Brian Kamanga coming, and yet nothing could be done. Two tries for Wales's loose head, converted by Will Ford for a 19 points to 10 lead now for Wales.
Yeah, 5, 6, 7, everyone, okay? You have to talk to the players. If next time the players start to speed, direct a penalty.
And who's helping him out? It's Prgodzic again.
Outside.
Well, they've assisted or scored each other's tries today. Kamanga helping Prgodzic cross for the first, and then Prgodzic assisting Kamanga for both his tries. Talk about football combinations up front that are famous through the years. Two strikers working together, well, that's exactly what we've got with Prgodzic and with Kamanga.
Yeah, 7 against 7. 7 against 7, the yellow cards. You can make 15-22.
Well, we've got to spare a thought here for Moses Tuliakiona. He probably, all he wants to do is scrummage at number 8, but he's been told on a couple of occasions now he can't scrummage because it's 7 on 7 due to Spain losing a player, and he has to go in the back line.
Mark is on the line, okay?
But as much as that's a dream for many number 8s, it's not quite the role he's used to.
Yeah. Time on. Mark is here. Second, then the push. Touch! Fight! Set! Stay!
Luga, Ford, Morgan and Fussell. But Fussell rather finding out that
On your feet.
the meters have been eaten up by those inside him and he had nowhere to go.
No.
Lewis with the last carry. This is Owen Lewis, the centre. Hall, Prgodzic. Shaping up nicely here, Wales.
Yeah.
Ford's pass is left. It's going to work out for Morgan, however. Morgan puts it on the toe with Bryant in the chase. Spain with one man back. It's Hafoka.
High tackle.
He's high tackled.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I ask. How much?
Hafoka was the sweeper for Spain. And Kinsey and Fussell were back there, and so too Harvey Bryant, who was the man penalised for a high tackle. A little bit unfair on Harvey Bryant, perhaps. On we go. Morgan, good take from the fullback. Again, he avoids his ankles being taken from underneath him.
Perfect.
Gonzalo Losada is injured for Spain. Ford, lovely kick over. Fussell pops it on. Here's T and Hall. Good man to hold the ball up in that wider channel. Lewis plays first receiver, the centre. Knock on now by Wales. Spanish ball in the midfield. Spain have got to stay so tight here. They have drifted out of matches in previous games as things have gone on a bit. They've found that physicality a little tricky up front. But as every coach says about this competition, these are the moments right now where they're probably most
Knock on
excited
black.
by,
Turn red.
from a Spanish perspective, to see how they handle 9 points down. Fatigue in the legs, not just from today, but over the last 2 match days. A player in the bin, and yet having to cling on. This is where they'll be able to deliver
We can play.
some learnings for these young players. And understand
Because
more
they
about
are
what kind of
beyond
players they are,
from
too.
Spain. Play on. Guys, we can play.
And not just who has the fight, because everyone at this level has the fight, but how to use that in a positive way.
Keep the same break foot. French! Pint! Set!
That huge figure is Juan Gonzalez, coached Spain's women at the World Cup last year.
Play on.
He's the scrummaging coach for Spain, under-18s. That's a kick, isn't it? Had to be judged to perfection, and it was.
Red. Mark is here. Black. Mark
They've
is
been
here.
in Vichy for 2 weeks, of course, these players, and given that a lot of them, all of them, are still at school,
Substitution.
there's been limited time for
You keep
perhaps
the game.
following
I make the marks, you keep the game. On the
their
line,
studies as
okay.
closely as can be, but being in Vichy, it's not a bad
Yeah,
place, is
outside.
it, to brush up on a little bit of history.
Okay for the substitution.
Seat of government for wartime France, back in the
They are
1940s.
substitution. You need to wait me for
Nice,
no, it's
rich
better.
with
It's better.
history to soak in just by walking around the town.
They are substitution. They are outside. Please, your game. Outside, outside.
Spain take the line out, despite no captain Adrian Fernandez.
No more.
Still have enough leapers to win that one back.
Tackle, all the way.
Soriano, on the last carry, Hafoka. Nice change of angle, and Eneco Sanchez on for his second stint in the match. So to Cesar Trevino.
Okay, play on.
Hafoka.
Tackle. No.
Good feet from Jose Ignacio Soriano. Hafoka takes it to the line. This time goes himself.
Advantage, tackle, now rolling away.
And the phase play now working for Spain as Wales come quickly off their line. Mendes. Martinez. That's Vinuesa.
Not rolling away.
I haven't seen anything really of Spain's outside centre, Dario Ruiz, who scored a super try against Ireland with quick feet. He's not seen any
Captain,
ball
we made
today.
Black, be careful for the tackles.
So Hafoka
Be careful for the tackles.
with a good
okay?
nudge.
Wait. Black.
The hooker now is Cesar Trevino.
Access.
Good take from Kennelly. Trevino. Spain can be very dynamic with their rolling maul. And they're close here. The ball's on the line,
Release. Release the ball.
but the referee says it has to be released and played again.
Silently.
Mendes. Advantage this for Spain, and they're going to break the line here and score. It's in the hands of Rodrigo Rivas. And Big Rod has come up with a big play.
They are silently. After they are moving the line up, he's in the same time for this right behind of this.
Lovely pullback from Vinuesa and the short pass to Rivas. Nothing that Owen Lewis could do.
Now.
Hafoka. Reduces the gap to 2. Wales 19, Spain 17. Difficult to see. And there's, of course, no TMO available for the referees here. So they have to make a call from what they see in the moment. Manuel Mendes, who's had a very composed 50 minutes, really. Spain's number 9. He's not produced the electricity of Bernat Fernandez, who started the first 2 matches for Spain and unfortunately isn't able to join his teammates for this 3rd match, but he's had a composed and very, very capable match so far, Mendes. He looks to be a good young player in the 9 jersey. Pragodzic can accelerate into contact. Lewis. Good hands here, Morgan and Riley Fussell. This is bouncing around more favourably for Spain, and Rivas. And only just. This is Gorka Kajigam. Set to join his teammates. Hafoka. Sam Morgan. Crash hat on from Cole Lacey. Luger, good wraparound pass. Maddock Evans on, wearing 22 now. Taking over the fly half duties, and there is Evans. And there is Logan Goodluck. Mason James now. Had a stint with us in the first half, very briefly. Nice soft hands. Evans, Morgan, and Jack Williams just couldn't take the ball. When he does, he is such a lively runner.
Number 8.
So Moses Tuliakiono switches with Rhys Owen after 3 starts for Wales. A man from Radley College, and he's had a very good tournament. Very good festival.
Time on, forward pass from Reds. Mark is here. Watch the winger. Touch! Fight! Set!
Spanish penalty at the scrum.
Go straight. Straight. Here. Put your shoulders out and push straight only.
Never really felt like Wales were in too much danger from Scotland on the scoreboard as they beat the Scots in their first match, and they were always chasing France. Until they weren't, until they were holding on against the French, and then they were overhauled towards the end. But this kind of situation, a match they would be expecting to win, and yet they find themselves a little too close for comfort, and yet still the favourites to pull through, is a new position for this team to experience. And again, Richie Pugh will be relishing that, what it's like for these players to be feeling what they're feeling right now. And to try and work their way through it and come out on top. Big learning period for Wales over the next 20 minutes. hunted in this scenario. But when their game is built on such free-flowing play, as we've seen in this festival already,
The ball is here. You kick?
will they stick to that?
Post. Ball is okay? They are meeting with the players. Okay, now we can take
Malachi Hafoka aiming for the posts for Spain to retake the lead. He's got the legs on this. He's nailed it. Malachi Hafoka puts his hands up, takes responsibility and sends Spain into the lead. Remarkable kick from the young fly half. Spain 20, Wales 19.
Number 6 black. 6 black is out. I take the time before. Right. Time on.
Wales took the lead in the first half. Spain have now taken it back.
Advantage. Back. No, back, back. No, the ball is in.
Malachi Hafoka with 10 points by himself.
Use it. Advantage you down for the corner.
2 conversions, 2 penalties to go with Spain's 2 tries.
Back. Stop, stop.
That's worked out for Jack Williams. Good take from the winger. Maddock Evans' crossfield kick bounced nicely for him. Progodzic, or rather,
No more. Back.
here is Progodzic, excuse me. Lewis, good feet from Evans. George Thomas is on. Big carry from James.
Red, no more.
Did really well to keep hold of that, Mason James. He was moving at speed. Maddock Evans. Jack Williams starting to get more and more ball. As you can see, he's a difficult man to bring down. Thomas. James knocks this on now.
No corner advantage.
Alex Bollinger was the man in the red scrum hat who'd slipped it into his path. Spain trying to make the most of this. They'll knock it on now as well, so we come back.
Second, red. Spread red.
It's Wales' strength, the scrum, but Spain have managed to have their own way with it at times. They've got a few penalties out of the Welsh.
Yeah, you have to stay straight, okay? Punch your shoulders out, and then you keep straight. Crunch! Head to shoulders, more pain, please, okay? Keep the space again. No, it's okay, guys. Stay high. Crunch!
Spain with a new number 8, Pau Vichez. Really fast and skillful operator at the base. Leaves it to Manuel Mendes. Jack Williams has taken it, but he was already out. So the ball naturally left the field, surely, and it'll be Welsh ball.
The ball is black, okay, because the ball is again in the outside.
Lacey's throw. Down by Carroll. Williams. He is very strong once he gets up to speed. Dylan Quinn kicks downfield. Riley Fussell wants to move. They have possibly the fastest players on their roster on the field together right now, Wales. With Jack Williams, with this man here, Dylan Quinn. So engaging Spain in a foot race that all opportunities might be a way for them to cause this Spanish back division to panic. Cesar Trevino.
Access.
Throw by Cole Lacey. Oh, the line from Progodzic was good. And had he carried that, the try line too would surely have followed. He was moving at such speed. Instead, Spain can clear their lines, but only so far as Maddock Evans. Dylan Quinn.
16.
Taken well by Pablo Montero.
Here. Back me, yeah. Yeah, when you want. You have to wait.
With 10 minutes to go in both Spain and Wales's Under-18 Six Nations Festival, it's still a point between them. Off the top, nicely done. Wales move it to Progodzic. And then George Thomas back to this left-hand side. Maddock Evans coming into the fray is Will Adams. He's got a burst of speed. Williams too, but he can't take it. Too low. Wales have kept it.
Knock on black, no advantage.
Well, had that pass found the hands of Jack Williams, maybe Wales would have been in.
Yes. Yeah, no problem, clear. It's okay for us.
Malachi Hafoka, a very tidy 61 minutes of play after a very impressive festival as a whole. Now takes his leave. It'll be up to others to try to steer this Spanish ship home.
French! Fight! Set! Yeah,
Penalty to the Welsh. It's scrum ascendancy now to the boys in black.
Number 3 red, collapse scrum.
Alvaro Martinez at fault this time. Wales have had enough penalties against them at the scrum in this encounter.
Substitute. Number 9 black is out. Time on. C'est pas assez clair les changements.
Cole Lacey asked to deliver the ball. Taken by Will Carroll. Lacey goes in for it, and he's got it under his right arm. Lewis, the inside centres, joined him now. Initially, Spain have dealt with this very well. But Wales have kept it together. And off goes Lewis. Exploring the space just outside the maul. Nothing really to be found there. This is more like it though from Wales, fighting to stay on their feet. Mason James has gone backwards. So George Thomas is allowed to play it. He's chipped this over nicely. This is one for the fleet-footed Dylan Quinn to go after. And he did the best he could. Now Montero's going to hit this. Had he not been hit by the ground first. So Cagigal taking the drop kick, but he's going to have to wait for Victor Gallego to come on. Cagigal. Quinn. Cole Lacey.
Back. Move back, 20.
Five minutes left to play. In an encounter that hasn't quite hit the heights of what we've seen from both teams so far in the contest, but there's still time, and Guzman Vinuesa deciding against taking on a Welsh player in the sideline with only a metre or so to work in. Victor Gallego. Wales at the back. They have to make the plays here, but they also don't have to rush. Although when you've got speed, why not play to it? And away go Wales. Chipping over is Will Adams. Vinuesa, he's back. Adams has got him though. So has Fussell. There are enough Spanish numbers there. Gallego. Waits for his forwards. What a cleverly constructed counter from Wales. Putting Spain under so much pressure. Gallego, it's tapped in the air. But offside. Will Carroll was offside, the second row forward. He's been very good today, Carroll. Line out after line out has gone to him. And, well, he must have started offside because he didn't jump the gun. Now, can Spain see this home then? Cesar Trevino. Knock on at the back, Cole Lacey. Well, Lacey caught it. Nothing wrong with his hands, but it had just taken a fingertip of the Welsh jumpers. Victor Gallego to try to put some control on this for Spain. They're in a dangerous position on the pitch, so they try to make an exit. That was from Vinuesa, who's hammered it downfield. But it's only to those fast-running backfield players of Wales, led by Dylan Quinn, who's been a bundle of electricity since he's come on. Away to the left-hand side with Will Adams. Doesn't quite find its way to Jack Williams. Penalty to Spain for holding on the floor. Pablo Montero, the fullback who rushed up and clamped himself over the ball. 2 more minutes for Spain.
You can talk as you want. I ref, you play for me, that's okay. You can talk as you want. We play, they are medic, we play. Play on.
So the referee forcing Wales and to Spain to keep playing, no matter that the medics are on. So Spain may well be a player down, essentially, for this next passage of play.
You leave, 18, you leave the pitch.
Well, Spain have really brought a lot to the festival this year. They played so well against Italy when they lost 52 points to 33, scoring so many tries. In the end, in vain, but what entertainment and what style they played with. And then against Ireland, they had a wonderful first half, challenging the Irish before falling to them. And against this Welsh team, on paper, Wales were the team that were trying to come out and close things off with 2 wins from 3, especially after that French performance where they played so well. But Spain instead have delivered a different kind of performance. It's been a slower one, it's been more forward-based. They've been more disciplined, and they find themselves with more energy at the end of it as well. It's been their Achilles heel, just falling away from games towards the end, but not this time. They're energised by the scoreline as well, clinging on for this 1-point lead at the moment over Wales. Spain and Georgia, the 2 invitational teams involved in this Six Nations festival, taking us up to 8. And so every time there's a match, every chance they get to make a statement, they are trying to take it. And this would be such a statement. Head down, burrowing into Welsh numbers goes Trevino. How long is left? Victor Galejko, the scrum half, wants to know. Galejko waits again. Welsh forwards trying to get their hands on the ball on the floor. How many more times does Spain have to do this? Galejko, Trevino. Little wobble on the floor and the ball's gone forward. It'll be a scrum to Wales. There's enough time. This is the last play though. And Victor Galejko, who was so busy organising players around him, and just in that moment not able to take the ball with him. This is a festival. This isn't about final position. It's about performance and development. But a win is always nice and always sought after. And the players know it, the coaches know it at this point. The development step that they can take is winning. Knowing how to see out an encounter like this. Against a team as talented as Wales, they could quite easily construct one starter play, execute it perfectly, and be over the line, and everyone in Spanish ranks knows it. George Thomas, the scrum half for Wales, has a scrum going slightly backwards, but he does his job. Good take here. Owen Lewis carries it forward. Thomas. And Wales can start and try to begin this expedition downfield. Alex Bollinger in the red scrum mat, he's involved. There's Will Adams now, and Jack Williams, he knows his way to the try line brilliantly for Wales. Thomas, Maddock Evans. They lost out to France late on in their last match. Wales trying to deny Spain late on here. Flipped over to Quinn. Another danger man shut down from the Spanish perspective. And they line up Bollinger here. Great tackle from Trevino, but there's numbers away to the left-hand side if they can move it. Progodzic has gone. He flips it back, it's a knock-on. And Spain have their win in the Six Nations Festival. It's come against Wales, and it's come because they kept at it. They kept hammering away. And this Spanish side, which is stacked with talent, was needing to acquire a little bit of mettle. And my goodness, they've done that today. The Lion Cubs of Spain defeat Wales 20 points to 19 to end their festival with a win. Much cherished, much earned.
I don't want to keep the offside because
At the end of 70 minutes, at the end of 8 days in this Six Nations Festival, Spain have a win. 20 points to 19 against Wales. There was a penalty try firstly for Spain today. Wales then got on the scoreboard via Alfie Progodzic, supported by Brian Kamanga. Now these two together were a two-man combined ball of ballistics that just couldn't be contained. The second try came from them as well. Kamanga this time with Progodzic next to him. And with this score here, courtesy of a one Brian Kamanga, they went 19 points to 10 up. Kamanga doing a brilliant Reece Carey impression. Progodzic alongside him to help him over. But Spain came back and they rather snuck into the contest. Lovely score here from Rodrigo Rivas. And that helped them back into the contest. In the end, the final points that they needed, scored by their fly half, Malachi Hafoka, for Spain to win 20 points to 19.